top places in the East Bay to live with an average housing price of under $1 million? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today, so let's get to it. Welcome to the Thriving in San Francisco East Bay channel. I'm Rich Fleming, your local realtor, and I'm here to teach you everything you need to know about living, working, playing, sleeping, eating. You know the drill. In the San Francisco East Bay, I get people who are reaching out to me with questions about how to relocate here, what they need to know before they get here, and I absolutely love it. That is why I do these videos. So if you've got questions, you know what to do. Drop me a text, give me a call, send me an email. Because when it comes to helping you relocate to the San Francisco East Bay, I got your back. Now in today's video, we are going to talk about some of my personal favorite cities in the San Francisco East Bay that have a median housing price of $1 million or below. And by Bay Area standards, that is a moderately priced area. So the reason I'm doing this video is I recently did one on the top East Bay cities according to the website niche.com. You know, the cities in that list are all great, but one of the things about all the cities in that list is that the median home price for all of those cities was over $1 million, and in some cases significantly over $1 million, closer to $2 million. So I wanted to do a list of cities for, you know, more moderately priced homes, moderately by Bay Area standards. So let's just jump into it. So my disclaimer, these 5 cities are in no particular order. They're just cities that I really like. I think they're really great places to live. And I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail on them. I actually have videos on most of these cities, or will soon have videos on them. So feel free to check those videos out if you want to get into a little bit more detail. So let's just jump into that first city, and that's Martinez, California. So Martinez is about 25 miles or so northeast of Oakland, and it has a population of about 38,000 people. The median home price in Martinez is about $830,000, and that's up about 3.9% year over year. And the median home sells for about 105% over the list price. A couple of pros about living in Martinez: great location, a wide variety of housing, and access to 2 different school districts that are pretty sought after. The second city on this list, Hercules, California, with a population of about 28,000 people. Hercules is due north of Oakland by about 15 to 20 miles or so. The median home price in Hercules is $855,000. That's up about 7.8% year over year, and the typical home is selling for just under 6% over the list price. Now, a couple of things that people love about Hercules is that it is right on the bay. You have some beautiful views. There are homes that are essentially right on the bay. You can walk on the Bay Trail, and Hercules also has homes in the hills where you're overlooking the bay. You have very scenic and panoramic views. Other things people like about Hercules is it's a very small, quiet, quaint town. A couple of drawbacks about Hercules is that it does not have a lot of public transportation at all. They've been in the process for a long time of trying to get a ferry station in Hercules to take people into San Francisco. And its location on Highway 80 does make driving into San Francisco and Oakland somewhat challenging during commute hours. Highway 80 is one of the more challenging freeways in the area to drive on. Second drawback to Hercules, there are not a lot of dining opportunities in Hercules. There are a few along the waterfront, 2 or 3, but it just really does not have a core area for any type of nightlife, socializing, anything like that. The third city on this list, Brentwood, California. Now, Brentwood has historically been a farming community in eastern Contra Costa County. But over the last 20 to 30 years, it has really developed into a pretty significant suburban area. Brentwood has a population of about 60,000 people, and it's located about 50 miles from Oakland, almost due east. The median home price in Brentwood is about $880,000, and that's up about 3.5% year over year. And the typical home sells for about listing price in Brentwood. So things that people love about Brentwood, if you're really looking for a more modern, larger suburban style home, Brentwood has been really where a lot of the development in the East Bay has been happening. You can definitely get larger, 3, 4, 5, even 6-bedroom homes in Brentwood. It has good access to the California Delta, so if you're a person who enjoys boating, you have a power boat, there's actually quite a boating culture in Eastern Contra Costa, so it might be a perfect place for you if you're interested in that. Some cons about Brentwood: if you have to commute into Oakland, San Francisco, Pleasanton, Silicon Valley, the drive in from Brentwood is going to be significant. It is not an easy commute. There's really only one highway taking you in and out of that, and it does get significant traffic. Brentwood is relatively close to a BART station, which is the last BART station is currently located in Antioch. So it can be anywhere from about a 10 to 20 minute drive, depending on where you are in Brentwood, to get to a BART station. A second potential drawback to living in Brentwood: it gets really hot in Brentwood. So if you do not like the summer heat, it is very often in the triple digits in the summer in Brentwood. It also tends to get somewhat colder out in Brentwood. Now, in comparison to most of the rest of the country, our version of cold is nothing. But if it is a concern to you, make sure you do some research on the weather in Brentwood. The fourth city on this list: Benicia, California. Now, technically, Benicia is in the North Bay because it's located in Solano County, but it is just across the Carquinez Straits from Contra Costa County, and I'm going to include it because I just like it, okay? So Benicia is about 30 miles northeast of Oakland, and it has a population of 30,000 people, roughly. The median price of homes in Benicia is about $817,000, and that is pretty much flat year over year. The typical home in Benicia sells for about 3.5% over the list price. Some pros of being in Benicia: well, it's got a great small town feeling. It is a very safe community, got a great downtown area. It's called First Street. It really draws people for that reason. A second pro of Benicia is that it has a school district that people seek out. Some drawbacks to living in Benicia: well, it does have an active oil refinery on the north side. If you live in most of the city, you wouldn't even be aware that there's an oil refinery in the city, but technically there is. A second drawback is if, once again, you're commuting into Oakland or San Francisco, you have to cross a bridge, so you have to pay that toll every day. And if you're going to San Francisco, you have to pay 2 tolls over 2 bridges. Drive times can be pretty significant. The fifth city on this list: San Leandro, California. Now, San Leandro is literally directly south of Oakland. It has a population of about 91,000, and the median home is selling for about $870,000, and that is pretty much flat year over year. Now, some things that people absolutely love about San Leandro is its great geographic location. It's very easy to get into Oakland, relatively easy to get to San Francisco once you cross the bridge. Good access to BART, good access to freeways. It's also right on the bay, so it has some very scenic places. You can go down to the marina in San Leandro, or you can get some scenic views from the hills in San Leandro. Some drawbacks to San Leandro: well, it does not have really great shopping or dining options. You pretty much have to either go up to Oakland or potentially down to Union City for some significant dining evening options. A second drawback to San Leandro: the school districts, depending on where you are, because there are multiple school districts in San Leandro, they do generally have some room for improvement, but the school districts have really put a focus on this in the last couple of years. I also wanted to give you guys a couple of honorable mention cities that I like, but they didn't quite meet the criteria. Their housing prices are just a little over $1 million, but I wanted to mention them to you. The first one is Pleasant Hill, California. The median sales price there is $1,080,000. It is located just south of Martinez. And then a second city to consider is Clayton, California. And it is a small town, probably about 25 miles east of Oakland. And it only has a population of about 11,000 people. The median home sells in Clayton for about $1,080,000. So if you have any questions about anything I talked about in today's video, you know what to do. Drop me a text, give me a call, send me an email, because when it comes to helping you relocate to the San Francisco East Bay, I got your back. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows to show it to other people with interests similar to yourself. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know each and every time I drop a new video, and I'll catch you in the next video.